Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss news and views about pop culture, science fiction, fantasy, food, cooking, the outdoors, and more. If you hadn't heard, G4TV was shut down this past weekend. But have you ever wondered how many people were actually watching the channel on linear TV? Well, as it turns out, there were only 1,000 viewers watching G4 on cable television. That is so incredibly pathetic. It's amazing that this channel lasted as long as it did when you hear that. What it means basically is that G4 was relying very heavily on advertising revenue that it was making online from people watching their videos there, because they certainly weren't making any money from the 1,000 viewers tuning in on TV, which is really sad. I mean, that's just nothing. G4, the Comcast Spectator-owned cable channel dedicated to gaming, was shut down again. Dave Scott, the Comcast Spectator chairman and CEO, broke the news to the G4 staff in a memo circulated on Sunday. Comcast Spectator is the sports and entertainment-focused subsidiary of Comcast that owns the NHL's Philadelphia Flyers and used to own the NBA's Philadelphia 76ers. 45 staffers at G4 lost their jobs immediately as a result of the decision. And as I have said in previous videos, I feel very bad for those people, and I sure hope they can find new work very soon. The shutdown comes just under a year since the channel's relaunch last November. The channel's relaunch, first announced in July 2020, followed 7 dormant years for the gaming channel, which first began in 2002. The early version of the network was operated by G4 Media, which was a joint venture between Comcast and NBC Universal. And it's really sad when you think about it. G4 had only been on for less than a year, around 11 months. They couldn't even make it to a year or even break a year. That's really sad when you think about it. And they spent a ton of money bringing this channel back. The channel ceased original programming in 2012 when NBC Universal signed a deal with Hearst Publishing to relaunch it as the Esquire Network. Ultimately, the Esquire Network replaced the Style Network instead, but no new programming for G4 was created, and several cable companies dropped it from their programming. The channel ultimately ceased operations officially on New Year's Eve in 2014. So what went wrong this time? Among 120-something cable channels in third quarter ratings, G4 currently ranks dead last. This is really sad. This is the sad part. According to Nielsen, it only drew just 1,000 total viewers on average across both primetime and total day. And I love this next line in the article. We did not miss any zeros. 1,000 viewers. Because they're trying to emphasize they're not making it up. That was it. And yeah, I mean, this thing, it was so bad, it was worse than any of Comcast's other very minimally watched channels. I mean, this was literally at the bottom. Operating out of a studio in Burbank, California, G4 aired programming related to gaming, with particular focus on esports gameplay. Much of the channel's programming was live streamed on its Twitch and YouTube channels before being edited for linear TV. The relaunch brought back 2 of the channel's signature series, Attack of the Show, which was hosted by former host Kevin Pereira, along with some new people, and X-Play, which was hosted by Adam Sessler, Indiana Frost Black, Gerard Khalil, and Corey Smallwood. G4 launched the career of Olivia Munn, who was supposed to return when the channel came back in 2021. But she did not return. And chances are that was probably a good move for her not to come back. But admittedly, I think the fact that she didn't come back is probably one of the reasons why the channel didn't do well on linear TV. And it certainly would have drawn a lot more people watching the show on YouTube and Twitch. Instead, what they got was the far less bangable Frost. And in her infamous sexism in gaming rant, when she said that she wasn't as bangable as Olivia Munn, well, that was a true statement. I will give her credit for that.
I'm not as bangable as the previous host.
But I do love this line here too. Ultimately, 1,000 viewers equals game over. And this is the truth. G4, in its second chance to come back to life, there is no way it could have survived if it had only been on linear television. It had to rely on revenue from advertising coming from people watching videos on YouTube and Twitch. And as soon as Frost gave her stupid sexism in gaming rant back in January, people stopped watching. And it pushed the revenue down and it killed the channel. Plain and simple. That was the end. And where is it today? It's gone. It is shut down. And as I said in one of my previous videos, there is no way that G4 is ever going to get a third chance. Its second chance was it. And it's gone, and it is gone for good. Thanks for watching today, and a huge thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, and please feel free to share a comment. If you'd like to see more of our videos in the future and help support this channel, please press the red subscribe button, and please press the bell to receive notifications for new content. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by clicking on the links in the description. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.